Okay, so now that we have Bootstrap in our project, then we're going to start bringing and copy and pasting some of the HTML design that I provided here for you beforehand. And you can actually grab this ppm tool design folder here that has the app CSS and has some HTML files that are still, by the way, work in progress. I am going to be updating these, and this is also in the branch for this video lecture, so you can go grab these from there. And I'm also going to put these there for in the actual resources section, the general resources section, once I complete these, so that you can actually grab them from there. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to grab all the app.css code that we have here, and basically we're going to put it right here. This is not an introduction to CSS or anything of the sort. I expect you to be familiar with this, and don't worry. All you have to do, like if you meet the course requirements, you'll be able to just read on this and understand, you know, what I'm doing here on the CSS. I think the only effects that I have is when you hover over the buttons on the project item, but we'll see that, and I'll make sure that I come back to this. But just copy and paste it here on the app CSS file in the client folder. Then the next thing that we want to work on is on our dashboard HTML. So just come here to this file, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to actually, before we work on the dashboard, why don't we do the navbar first? And this is commented properly, so you know where to copy and paste. So we're just gonna copy and paste the navbar first, and then we're gonna put this code into the header component here. All right. So basically, we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of all of this, and we're just gonna paste this. Now that this is that we pasted this here, and I'm just gonna get rid of this so you guys can see a little better. Let me just make some room here. Perfect. So as you can see here, we're complying with the JSX rule that we have a main component here. All right, and then we have all these elements that compose our navbar. Now, as I mentioned before, in JSX, whenever you're posting HTML here, you cannot use the keyword class as you can use it on regular HTML. Actually, you need to change this to class name. You can go one by one to do this, but one shortcut that at least I have on the Mac is that I can highlight the text and then do Command D as in David, and then every time I do Command D, I'm not sure if the Control D works in Windows. You guys can go find that out, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. It's just Control D on Windows and Command D on Mac. Command D as in David. Okay, and then every time you press D, it actually highlights everything that contains the word class. And all we have to do now is literally change them all at the same time, and this is going to save you a lot of time. Just make sure that you don't that you are very careful and that you don't change this to class name, which I did. Trust me, I did. Okay, no shame in that. We all make mistakes when we're learning. So now that I cleaned this up, I just want to make sure that we can see our navbar. So I'm going to start this npm start, and it should display our navbar now if everything went well. And this is actually really great. As you can see, we have our complete navbar here, just what we brought in. All right, and if you were to use class, if you forget to change this is what's going to happen. Then you're going to have invalid DOM property, that you mean class name, and it actually tells you the file where you're actually making the mistake, so you can go back and fix it. No problem. All right. So now that we did this here, the next thing that I'm going to copy paste is going to be the dashboard component. And same thing, come to dashboard.html. And then as you can see here, it starts here and ends right at the comment at the very, very end of, oh, no, actually I did it wrong, because that's the end of the project item component, which we're going to extract from here as well. And then this is the actual end of the dashboard component. And then we're going to do the same thing here in dashboard. We're going to get rid of all of this and actually just copy paste this. Get rid of the comments. Now, if you want the comments here, your option is to do to wrap the comments in curly braces. And then, of course, it cannot be in line. It has to be at a different line. And then that way, you can actually add JavaScript. Come on. You can add JavaScript comments, right? If you want to keep this up, this here, which might come in handy. Why not? I'm just gonna keep the this because we actually have to extract this code as well, and that way we won't get lost in this massive amount of HTML. And this is why I'm providing all this code beforehand, because I mean, do you imagine typing all of this, you know, line by line, whatever? I'm not saying that it's horrible. All I'm saying is that you know, it's time that we could use for some other more interesting things. Okay. Don't worry about these warnings right now. I'll explain what these are in a bit, but I just want to look at my app right now, and perfect. You know, this is really good. We can see our project. If you see when we hover here, we have an effect, a different effect. That is exactly why one of the main things that I was showing to you earlier, which is the hover here. Effect that I set on the app.css. I'm not a CSS expert. I am not a designer. God, I'm not. But, you know, I think this looks decent enough. But the most important part is that it's functional. And that's all I really care about. All right, so now that we have this, we have to mind our warning here. And we have to go do the same cleanup that we did before. Everything that has class in it, we're going to get rid of. All right. And remember, just make sure that you don't change the class up here. All right. So again, class name, save. And now that project goes away. Now, if you see links must not point to hashtag, this is just because we have A tags here. And then this project item is defined but never used is because we actually erased that part. All right. Cool. So now let's grab this code here and transfer it onto our project item. And let's actually literally cut it out of here and go to our project item, do the parentheses here, and then paste it here. And actually, I'm going to get rid of these comments now. I don't think we need them anymore. Okay. And now, if we save and refresh this app, now the project goes away, but now we're going to get this by actually using our project item component, and it comes right back. So this looks really good. One last thing that I want to do is that on the project item, I'm using Font Awesome to provide some icons. So what I'm going to do, as I promised, is that I am going to get the CDN for Font Awesome, and I'm going to paste it on the index.html. And actually, I think that I can just do this right above here. And then I'm just going to change this for ppm tool. Okay, and with those two changes, now we see the icons. Icons is really cool, and also we see the the icons, and everything's looking nice. I probably want some space there. I'm not like I said, I am not a front-end developer, but I do like keeping my things nice and neat. So I'm just gonna give it let's say, I'm just gonna give it space here. I think that should do the trick. Just so it doesn't look so cluttered. There you go. This looks a lot better. All right, perfect. So now that we have this, I am going to perhaps show you the first real example of a functional based component. But I think that this lesson might get a little too long if I start doing this now. So I'm just going to save that for the next lecture. Thank you very much.